Good morning, everyone. I guess we can get started here. Let me make sure it is being recorded. Yes, it is. So today we are going to be talking about I kind of label it creative lead gen. We're going to start with working your sphere of influence, and then just talk about some ideas, for lead generation. Obviously, it's one of the biggest things that we hear from agents, hey, I want more leads or I need more leads. How can I get more leads? So just thought of redoing this session. I think I did it maybe a year ago. So just redo it and, just if anyone has any ideas on the call, please, any luck in any certain avenue, please don't hesitate to reach, just unmute yourself and let us know. But otherwise, let's just share some ideas. I'm actually going to start with just some stats, and you may have seen this if you've been on a session before similar to this, but kind of want to stress the importance of work, sort of the first part of lead gen is working with the folks that know us. So I'm going to just throw some stats out. So 92% of clients that we work with say they'll work with us again. So we close a deal, 92% of them say they'll work with us again. Another stat, 63%. The percentage of agents that do not use a CRM. So a CRM is a customer relationship manager. It's a database. We have Moxie Engage. You may use something else. It doesn't matter. The main piece is that you use a database that will, first of all, help you organize everyone you know and also stay in touch with them, newsletters, emails, whatever that may be. So super important that we gather up our folks and actually start working them. So 11%, the clients that actually use the same agent. So we went from 92% to 11%. So what happened there? What happened? Because that's a scary number. That is a very scary number that we lost, a huge chunk of folks. Well, what happens is, you close a deal with someone, today, unfortunately, they're not looking to do something next week. So we need to figure out a way to say hi to them, to say, hey, I'm still in real estate. Remember, I was your agent for years. Because, on a slight occasion, someone will sell a year later because something happened and that, whatever, and they may remember you. But when it's 6, 7, 8 or more years down the line, if we haven't said hi to them, if we haven't reminded them that, hey, remember me, I was your agent, helped you find the perfect house, they're going to forget us, plain and simple. And these stats prove it. So these are NAR stats. They're not just ours. They're not just, one of our regions. These are NAR stats across the country. So it's a scary number that if we had a CRM, if we had a database with all, everyone we know in it, and we were saying hi and we were sending them newsletters and reminding them that we're in real estate, just remember that's what we need to do. So immediately our database becomes a lead generation piece. So again, just remember that. So it's just some more stats. 82% is the average SOI lead conversion rate. So again, SOI, sphere of influence. So the people we know, if I'm a new agent, if I'm experienced, it really doesn't matter. Like if someone knows me and I remind them I'm in real estate, show value to them. I don't have to, I don't have to sell myself as hard. They don't have to get to know me. They don't have to learn to trust me because I know them. So that's a big piece of working our sphere and just realizing like the people in our database will buy, sell, convert, and it'll be much easier for us. So just do not forget about our SOI. So 1.6% average internet lead conversion rate. So, Zillow, Realtor, really any of these leads that someone just goes online and fills out a little form, two things to realize with that. People, not a lot of people are going to sit down and put their name and email, maybe even their phone number, in a box and then, knowing they're going to get reached out to. So not a lot of folks are going to do that unless they're somewhat or potentially in the market. So realize when you get a lead, if they don't respond to your first email or your first call or your first text, just realize that they're not necessarily a bad lead. Sometimes we get spammed, I get that, but the idea is, these folks sat down and put their personal information in, knowing that, likely someone was going to reach out to them. Just because they're not, they don't respond like immediately, just realize that, highly likely they are, seriously thinking about it. And that seriously thinking about it could be, hey, next week, or it could be, hey, I'm 18 months out. So, we got to learn to stay in touch with these folks, even though they may not respond. We got to kind of find a happy medium with, spending the time to do this, in knowing that, hey, I may not get a response. But again, that's where the CRM comes into play. So 11, the number of times we need to say hi to a new lead. So when I kind of put that in there, if I'm farming an area, if I get a new lead, basically on average, it's 11 times where they sort of would consider me a neighborhood expert, that maybe they would consider um, trusting me to be their agent. So just think about that. If we're farming or if we're going off, and trying to, gather up leads, just realize that we can't do it once and say, well, nobody called me from the postcard I sent. We need 11 times of postcards and emails and phone calls and maybe drop-bys with a door hanger, community events, whatever. So we got to realize that we got to work these folks, um, before they potentially reach out. So 18 number of months the average consumer takes to make the move. So when someone wakes up this morning and reaches out to you, and sometimes we get these, and it's the best ever. We get the, hey, can you swing by? Or, hey, we're looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath. Know that they didn't wake up that morning and just go, yeah, today's the day. Let's just reach out and start. They've been doing homework. They've been online. They've been through open houses. So they've met other agents. They've maybe filled out that online form on Zillow 2 or 3 times and got 2 or 3 different agents, So again, just realize that every lead that comes through your door, you should work until they tell you to stop. And again, we need to find the happy medium of, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on you, but I need to put you in my database and maybe put you on a neighborhood news in Moxie Engage or a newsletter or something. And then, maybe I'll text you once a month, but I'm not going to spend, waking hours worrying about you because I haven't heard from you. But I want to hang on to you because maybe in 18 months, you'll say, "Hey, I'm ready. Thank you for sticking around." So that's a big piece. So, again, finding that happy medium of staying in touch with someone, through the entire process until basically they say, "You know what? We decided not to do something, or whatever happened." So 6.2, now we're coming back to this internet lead conversion. So 6%, 6.2% is the average conversion rate using a CRM. So you can take your 100 Zillow leads and sell 1.6, or you can take your 100 Zillow leads, put them in your database, send them a newsletter, be in touch with them, reach out to them in one given morning and just say, "Hey, what's up? Just touching base. Let me know if you need anything." And take that conversion from 1.6% to 6.2%. Again, on average, but basically saying that when we put everyone in our database and work them, then we can convert more. So that's a big piece that, for the big piece for the case of having a CRM and actually working it. So 15x more likely to convert a lead that knows you. So again, kind of going to the 82% SOI lead conversion rate, 15 times likely if I get a Zillow lead this morning or I get someone in my database that says, "Hey," the hey is 15 times more likely to convert because, again, they know me, they trust me, they've heard from me. That's not the first time they're hearing from me. So, again, going back to let's put all your folks together. Let's, help you, start working them within Moxie Engage and just, and consider that, hey, that's one of my lead conversion pieces. So 5 to 6, the number of agents someone knows, and I believe that number actually may be higher. It might even be like 7 to 8 or 8 to 9 now. So again, I can't just assume that, John and Sue that I know and have known for 10 years are just going to automatically come to me when they're thinking of something. I need to be in touch with them. I need to let them know I'm still in real estate and that I'm here for them and all of that, because otherwise they may know 5 other agents. So why wouldn't, whether any of those are reaching out to them or not, you never know. But the idea is, I mean, maybe they see one of them in a store today and they haven't heard from me and they, happen to think, "Oh, we're thinking of doing something." But if they're running into other agents, but yet I'm sending them neighborhood news with facts about their house and the neighbor in the market around their house, they could go, "Hey, nice seeing you again," and just consider me their agent. So 100K, the number of agents that have left the business. So, we went through a period of, loving life, put a sign in the yard, it's gone. I really didn't even have to market stuff. I didn't really have to do listing presentations because I walked in the door. They said, "Hey, put the sign in the yard," and things like that. But, things are tougher. We need to prove ourselves. We need to stay in touch with folks and make sure they know that we still exist and we're still in real estate and we still expect them to use us or refer us, things like that. And a lot of folks weren't doing that and tend to fall by the wayside because they just want leads. They just give me, "I want Zillow leads," or "I want realtor leads," or I just want leads," instead of, "Hey, let's work the folks we know." And then also, dabble in other leads. And again, we'll talk about some other we'll talk about some lead gen places once we're finished with this page. Again, anybody has any questions, please do not hesitate to just unmute yourself, throw it in chat, whatever. Please do at any point. So basically, all of these stats, some scare me, some still scare me, and I know them, and I've done this more than once, but it scares me to know that if I meet someone new, I can't necessarily just expect them to like, oh, you're my agent. It scares me that if I don't stay in touch with my past clients or past deals that, they could go somewhere else. There's a lot of things that scare me on this page. But in reality, gathering your folks up, and I'm going to stop for a minute here. I mean, when I say gathering your folks up, it's any potential past clients, if you have any, if you're new, but otherwise it's friends, family, neighbors, past coworkers, your kids' friends, parents, just church folks, sports folks. It's everyone. You gather them all up, first name, last name, phone, email. Ideally, you have that, and we put them into Moxie Engage. Real quick, nothing is sent from Moxie Engage unless you say to. So the idea, once you gather your, let's say, 200 folks up, is okay, John, how do I know John and how do I want to touch base with John? Do I want to be aggressive with John? Do I just want to, casually say hi to him and then move to Sue, the second person? All right, how do I know Sue? How am I going to touch base with Sue? And you go down your list essentially one by one. You only got to do it once. Once you get done, like, okay, I'm pretty cool with how these folks are being touched. Or just put them all on neighborhood newsletters and go with that. But the idea is gathering them all up. I can wake up tomorrow morning and I can reach out to every single one of them in a split second. Just wake up and send one email that'll say, "Hey, hope all is well. I'm here if you need me." Whatever your message is. So super important that we remember that. So why have a CRM, building your CRM, working your CRM, what to communicate? So that's kind of what we've been chatting about, but hopefully we understand now why we need a CRM, why we need that database, is because we absolutely need to say hi to our folks. We need to say hi to our family. Like we cannot just assume that our family, everyone has a group. Everyone has a core group. Like, man, if I never said I sell real estate again, you're still going to know I sell real estate and use me as your agent. We all have a group, but think about, the neighbors and the friends that you don't see all the time, or the family that you don't see all the time, maybe a cousin, things like that. Gathering all them up or having a way to communicate with them as you're building your CM and working it is the key. So we don't go to, we don't run into someone and they're, just without even thinking about it. If you've been in the business a bit, you've had this happen. Someone walks up and just goes, "Oh, we're so excited. We just bought a house." And my face, my jaw drops, and then maybe they realize, like, oh shoot, or maybe they don't even realize it because, hey, if I haven't said hi to you, if I haven't reminded you I'm in real estate and I'm here for you type of thing, you know, it's on me. So super important to to think of that when we're building and working our CRM. And then what to communicate is really up to you. I mean, you can reach out to someone in Moxie Engage every day, every week, once a year. It's totally up to you. The neighborhood news in Moxie Engage, if you are not using it, is unbelievable. Super high open rate. For just an email that you have to send out, you don't have to do anything. You just put them on it, and they get an email with values and what's happening in the market around their house. So super high open rate, low unsubscribe rate. So it's a great piece to get started with. But in reality, you can put them on campaigns. You can just put them in groups. Lots of things that you can do with your folks, and then you decide, hey, how do I want to communicate with this group or that group or these folks or these folks? And it's totally up to you. So let's talk about some other ideas. So we have some tools that we have in within ERA. We have some third-party tools. There's some places where you can purchase leads or pay referrals. So, some other ideas about lead gen. So Text ERA continues to be a super high lead generation piece within ERA. So if you aren't familiar with it, maybe you're new with us or just haven't heard about it, there are some training sessions in the Agent Hub Learning Library. You can just go in there and put Text ERA. We've done some sessions on it, but continues to be a good lead generation piece. So if you have a listing or want to market yourself, you can use Text ERA, and every time someone texts 12345 to 35620, they get information on your listing, and then you get their information, phone number to be able to, gather a lead and then see if they have any other questions or potentially interested in that property or another one. So text ERA is just an option for us for lead generation. So listings to leads is a third party platform that we pay for you guys. I've done two sessions this year already with Vince from Listings to Leads. We did a Listings to Leads 1.0 and a 2.0. We actually have a 3.0 next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So it kind of getting a little deeper into Listings to Leads each session. But you can again go into Learning Library in the Agent Hub and search Listings to Leads. The idea is you can grab a listing that you have or borrow one if someone in the office is willing to let you market their property, or you're doing an open house for someone. You could actually grab that listing and market it on Facebook or Google, things like that. And then you get the leads. If folks click on it, if they fill in the information like, hey, I'm interested, or there's landing page. There's so much within listings to leads. There's landing pages. What's your home worth? Put your email in here, and then you get those leads. So lots and lots of options within listings to leads to gain buyer or seller leads. So direct mail. So if it's old school, or considered old school probably, but if list a property, you can do just listed, you can do pending, just sold postcards. You can also, if you choose to farm an area, if you kind of live in a neighborhood or a community, and you want to, kind of pick that community to farm, I would highly, suggest that you remember, if you're just starting from scratch, you know, uh, be careful with going with 500 homes versus, like starting with 100. I love the idea of 500, but that's 500 mailings. And remember the stat that we talked about, one mailing, I may get lucky and reach that one person that day is the day that they're like ready to decide, and my piece catches their eye. But it also could take me that 11 times for them to realize, like, okay, this guy kind of knows what he's doing. He's given us good information. I sort of consider him a market expert. Let's give him a call and bring him in to potentially list our home, or something like that. So just remember, when we're thinking about mailing, if it's folks we don't know, we can't just consider one mailing a success. Just listed, just sold, kind of a little bit different though. Like you list 123 Main Street, you're going to send 25 or 50 postcards to the neighbors. Then if you just sell it, those I've seen be productive just by the list, just listed, just sold, because if a neighbor, sees you list it and then sell it, and like, well, okay, well, the house is in my neighborhood. I saw that he listed it. I saw that he sold it. That they can be potentially a little bit more productive than kind of farming a neighborhood that you don't know about. So because they're going to see your sign in the yard, and then you're going to see you successful by listing it and selling it, and that kind of goes a long ways to build that trust piece. So consider direct mail. So the second piece is your online presence. So I'm not sure if anyone's really thought about it for a while, but I highly suggest that you look at your online presence. If you're new to us, if you've come from somewhere else, if you just haven't looked at it in a while, a lot of folks. So NAR says that if if someone meets you or gets referred, to you, it's highly likely that they're going to Google you and be like, well, okay, let me check out this agent. You want your Zillow profile, you want all your profiles to be accurate, to have the right headshot and the right information and your correct cell number and all of it. So taking the time to sort of check out your online presence, make sure that you're good, is a big piece. It may not lead to, a new lead today, but super important that if you get a chance to get a lead and they Google you, they're not going to be disappointed and be like, what? That's disappointing. I can't even see a headshot online of him or whatever. So, definitely take the time. It's kind of a fun little project, once you kind of get started because you're like, okay, I want to fix this up and I want to get myself. And if you do not have a profile on Zillow, Realtor, um, or any of these sites, please, please, please take the time to, create that profile. You can create a free profile on a bunch of sites, Zillow, Realtor, Yelp, that say, I'm a real estate agent. This is me. This is my headshot. This is my biography. This is who I am. This is where I sell. And if that's all you do, you have a chance to be found there. But what it also does is when someone Googles you, they see ERA, then they see a Zillow profile, and then they see a realtor, and then they see, I want them to see kind of a full page of realtor, 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 realtor. And then, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable when they see that if they don't know me or they're trying to like figure out if I'm a fit for them. So definitely you want to check out your online presence. So open houses. So yeah, whether you have the listing and choose to do an open house, or if you're in an office that you know an agent that has multiple listings, don't hesitate to reach out to an agent and ask if, some allow you to do it. Some are like, no, I like to do my own, whatever. But the option is for you to do an open house for another agent. And then, you work it out. Maybe you get all the leads that come through, but if you're newer, it's also a great way to meet folks and kind of get your real estate dialogue down and how should I talk to folks? And you'll learn something every open house you do. So just think about, potentially doing open houses, on your listings or, for another agent. And you're helping them out, but you're also getting experience, and then of course potentially getting leads from folks that came in. And lots of tools we have if it's not your listing to still market it. I mentioned it in listings to leads that there's a way you can go grab an ad and kind of put your picture on this for the day because you're doing the open house and market it, for you and the listing agent. So there are ways that we can, sort of get the market out there, but, you in front of folks is never a bad idea. So social media, obviously, if you have a great plan within social media and and it's and you post regularly and you're active on it, great. If you're not, you really need to be on social media. I know it can be frustrating and things, but it's where everyone seems to be there. Obviously billions of people on social media, so you really need to kind of come up with something to post on social because in reality that can help you say hi to folks. Is an ad on Facebook today or just a post on Facebook, going to lead to a deal tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not. But what it's going to do is remind the 10 people that saw it, the 100 people saw it, however many people that saw it, that, oh, that's right. Wayne's in real estate. Wayne's still a real estate agent. I haven't thought about Wayne in a while, but he's still in real estate, So it's just that added touch. So we're texting, we're calling, we're direct mailing, we're whatever. But, then they see us on social media. It's just that additional touch point that we can do to say hi to them. So super important that we're on social. And again, We have, and there'll be sessions in the Learning Library. We've done Video Buzz and we've done the social tool. Within Leverage, you can post for the entire year, post on Facebook in without, you can schedule the whole year out and not have to worry about it and know that once a day, once a week, whatever you choose to do, you're posting something that reminds folks, hey, I'm a real estate agent. You want to mix that in with some personal stuff, but love the idea that you can post, well-written articles, creative graphics, listing information, just listed, just sold, whatever. Lots of things that you can do within Video Buzz and Social Tool, along with just you waking up in the morning or in the evening posting, some general stuff to get the word out that yes, I'm still in real estate. Your website, so your ERA.com website is within Moxie, so it's Moxie websites. The traffic to ERA.com continues to grow. They actually just switched over to Amazon as the website host, like Moxie did. So now we're actually going to start gaining traction from Amazon because we're a client. So super important to have your website up, and I say up and running, your headshot, your biography, tweak it a little bit, whatever. But folks will find your website. It'll be the number one thing that comes up. When you Google yourself, if you throw, that the ERA will be up there first. So, plus from ERA.com, if that's getting traffic, it means nothing to ERA.com because they're going to get down to, oh, I want a house in Southwest Florida. And then, oh, I want to be in Cape, and they're going to make their way down to one of our agents. Well, it's super important to realize that if they get to your website or click on it, maybe it's your listing, whatever, if they don't see a headshot, if they don't see a biography, like a little bit about you, just know that they're going to jump ship and they won't be back. So not a lot you have to do to that ERA.com website to get it up and running and be attractive to folks. But there are things that you need to do to make sure that that's again it's part of your online presence. We need to make sure it looks good for us. So HomeBot, a total third-party platform. It's just something I use personally. Just wanted to kind of throw it out there. It sends a monthly newsletter to folks, and the newsletter is really good. It's a value of your home and shows the equity in your home, and they can tweak it and play around with it. They can request a CMA with one button, like, hey, I want more information, or is this price that you're telling me accurate, kind of thing. So total third party, nothing to do with ERA, nothing to do with the brokerage, but I just use it personally, so I kind of wanted to throw it out there. So I mean, kind of a lead gen piece, but in reality, it's people that I have name, email, in their address. So it's kind of a retention piece, but it's lead gen in the fact that, I will have folks monthly say, hey, is this value correct? Can you update my CMA? Or, I mean, and then I've had folks this year and last already say, hey, number looks good. We're thinking about selling, so it's not necessarily a lead gen outside of your sphere, but anybody you put on it's going to get a very valuable newsletter monthly. You don't have to do a thing. It just goes out. And high open rate, low unsubscribe rate. So it's going to help you work your folks. So they should be in Moxie Engage as well. But HomeBot, I don't know. I think it might be $25 a month. So, definitely think about it. And if it's something you want to look at, just go to, I think it's homebot.ai. So it's not homebot.com. It's like homebot.ai, or Google it if you want to check it out and see if it's just something that would work for you. But again, just wanted to throw that one out there as an option. So FSBO is an expired, for sale by owners or expireds. It's just kind of a process. So, for sale by owners are out there. I think the last stat I saw was like maybe 35 to 40% of for sale by owners end up listing. So, think about, if you're driving by, or you can go to so many websites, for saleowner.com, FSBO.com, Zillow has, owners that can just go to Zillow and say, hey, my home's for sale. You can get addresses. So potentially for a buyer, if you have a buyer looking for a 3-2 and you find a FSBO that's a 3-2 and it all works, you could potentially, hey, I have a buyer. Would you agree to paying a broker commission if my buyer ends up buying it, or you can try to help them sometimes. Sometimes I'll say, what they don't want, just real quick for sale by owner, what they don't want is me walking up to them like, well, you shouldn't be doing this yourself, or you should be listed, and let them try it. But if you can help them, if you can get them a disclosure or, whatever, there's some options there to get your foot in the door. And if they decide to list, um, potentially you're there, and maybe you've been the agent that's been helpful to them. Maybe you can walk through and give them, hey, I'd paint this room, or hey, I'd declutter a bit, whatever. So if you can be helpful, that's always a good option for talking to FSBOs with the potential of getting the listing. Expireds, obviously, go through the MLS and see what properties expired. So I'll pull up the expireds. I'll get a list and I'll just go one by one, and I'll go back through and do active, continue, just is it pending? Did it sell or did it expire? And I'll run the report for each address and just see if, hey, maybe it got relisted and sold. If it just was listed once and expired, that's a potential. That's a seller that wanted to sell. So you have the ability to reach out to them and just talk to them. Hey, are you still interested in selling? I'd be interested in seeing if we'd be a good match. So more and more expireds, at least in my market, are showing up. So, consider that, and consider going back 2 years, because maybe someone 2 years ago, listed their property, didn't sell, got frustrated, whatever. Um, so an option to go back more than, like, if I just go to my MLS, the default is 1 year. But you can go back 5 years and see what was listed and maybe never got relisted and sold. There's a potential lead there for someone that at one point wanted to sell. So just FSBOs expired's always a good lead gen opportunity. So referrals and value props. So this kind of goes back to really everything we've been talking about. Don't be afraid to ask for referrals, or say, to close folks, to say, hey, if you're not looking to do something, please, if you hear something at your work or your neighbor or whatever, mention anything about a home, don't, please throw my name out. With that, you need to value prop yourself. So you need to be prepared at all times with, well, why should I work with you, to help me sell or buy? I mean, there's thousands of agents. I know 5 other agents. Why am I going to work with you? Well, the value prop, you're with ERA. You have the option to, lead gen with text ERA, which actually helps them sell a house because you're getting more leads, and things that you do in the listing presentations we have, things like that will help you with that value prop. But it's super important that you're prepared for that. So, I'm not a pay for lead kind of person. I've never really done that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but if you're gonna pay for leads, just know that you better be working them. You don't want to pay, $500 to Zillow and, get 20 leads that month and send 20 emails, and that's it. You're going to have to be very aggressive. So, put them in your database and send them neighborhood news and newsletters and maybe in HomeBot, whatever, to keep working them, because you want it to, I don't want to just break even with what I'm paying Zillow or wherever. I want to make money, and you
Need
can
the
make money
logo.
by actually working the leads.
Got it.
But if you're thinking about, um, a few ideas, I just want to, throw out there. So we are part of OpCity, which is really realtor.com. So we're a partner with them. We get leads from them. If you're part of OpCity, continue working it. I know some leads are goofy and things like that. But I'm part of OpCity where I sell real estate, and I can be very successful at it. I actually work the leads, and I don't send them one email and say it's a bad lead. I work them till they tell me to stop. And some of them convert a year down the road. So just OpCity is a great option. If you're not part of OpCity, Megan in our office, I'm sure you've talked to Megan Kopak or heard of her. She is the one that handles that. So I don't know, the process and everything, but just wanted to throw out that OpCity is an option. Also, and these are just some websites that I've personally used or heard of. Sold.com is, you can actually go there, you can create a profile that says, "Hey, I'm an agent in Cincinnati or Southwest Florida, wherever." And there's a free version that they'll kind of just throw leads at you. But there's also an option, if you want, to buy a zip code and then get seller leads. So just kind of wanted to throw it out there. The price sometimes is really not bad. Like Tom Ferry, who's a national trainer, coach person, is sort of, I don't want to say partnered up, but he'll often do sessions with Sold.com and then offer a zip code for like $50 a month. So, I mean, for me, $50 a month to kind of get a zip code with potential leads is not a bad outlay of money. It's not 500, it was 50. So just the idea, if you wanted to go to sold.com, check it out, maybe start with the free version. They kind of throw you a lead, but if they're paid version, you kind of get access to more leads. So just wanted to toss that one out there. Referral exchange, kind of the same thing. So you can go in, create a free profile, and then what you're going to do for a referral exchange is pay a referral fee when it closes. So this, and that is the way OpCity works. So OpCity referral exchange, and I'm going to throw this one out there, HomeLight, are just some options. No money up front. If you get a lead and work it and sell it, then you're going to owe a referral fee at the end. So at least you didn't have to outlay money. You just work the leads, and if in the end it closes, you pay a referral fee, which I don't mind doing because I wouldn't have had the lead prior, and I didn't have to outlay $200 to get the lead. I just worked it. It ended up closing. Okay, so now I owe you a referral fee. So again, just and there are so many. You could Google real estate leads, and I'm sure there's many other companies at this point that are kind of working leads this way, kind of on the referral basis. So I'd never say anything bad about buying leads or whatever, but if you're going to work an internet lead, they convert at the 1% range. You're going to have to work them to actually close one, or put them in your database, work them that way, and then potentially, close them at a higher rate. But again, I don't want to work a lead and maybe it close, once or twice, and that's wasted time. I might as well keep working them until they tell me to stop, and potentially they come around and are actually going to do something. So those are options. So that is what I had to kind of talk about. So I'm going to just pause for a minute. Anybody have any questions, any thoughts on anything we talked about? Or certainly if anyone on the call has ideas that have worked for them, or anything that they'd be willing to share with the other folks. I'm going to just pause now and see if anybody has anything. All right. Well, this was recorded, so I will put it in the Agent Hub Learning Library. If you do have any questions after this, maybe you just didn't want to unmute, you can always reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Happy to help you. But work that sphere. That it has to start there. Gather up all your folks that first name, last name, email, phone. Let's work them in Moxie Engage. Let's work them hard, and then they're going to help us work internet leads better. If we're paying for leads or whatever, we really want to be able to just convert at a higher rate. So if anybody has anything after this, please don't hesitate to reach out. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Wayne.
Absolutely. Take care.